Trigger warning. This episode may contain content that could be distressing to some listeners. Listener discretion is advised. Welcome to the New Earth podcast, recorded live from our vibrant New Earth cafe. Our surroundings are filled with authentic sounds and real actions, left unedited to preserve the genuine atmosphere we embody here at New Earth. So, rocking and rolling, man. You have a lot to share, and the last podcast we did was kind of far out, and I enjoyed it. I think people who watched it enjoyed it, but this is a different realm we're stepping into, and I feel like you are a different human being since the last time I saw you. Probably because I'm a different human being since the last time I saw me in you.
Exactly.
and so it's kind of more chill in this kind of environment, right? Like Bali-esque, you kind of got the green, and we've got the cafe. We're going to get you a chocolate sugar with the mushrooms I was telling you about inside it. So we're flying high. Just kidding, we're in Dubai. That kind of stuff is not permitted. So we go by the government rules. Can we go dos hot chocolate, please? Yes.
With all the mushrooms.
All the mushrooms.
Don't forget that. All the 7 colors of the mushrooms.
You're going to get the 7 colors, that's for sure. Like a refraction, you know? But that's another story.
That's what we love.
So, man...
I don't know why people keep it black and white.
I don't know. I think, if it's black and white inside, that means there's sort of a calmness. Mm-hmm. And so then it becomes all the colors of the rainbows outside, and you don't get affected by it emotionally. Mm-hmm. You're able to hold yourself still in your stillness. Anyway, so you've been on your journey since the last time we've spoken, and I'm sure you've been met with as you said outside, bit of a war zone. And I'd love to hear about this. But for those who who is Johny Dar? What is he about? Brief intro into your gig and what your baby is.
My baby is everyone's baby. Basically, I feel like the thing is this: when you are working on elevating the consciousness, elevating the awareness of humanity, then basically everyone becomes your baby.
Yeah.
So I feel like everyone is my project, and that's the war that I'm speaking of. Because it's the thing, it's like you cannot really fight, you cannot just eliminate disease without going into the war zone of fighting the disease. I tried my best to just stay neutral. Okay. And not wanting to step on anyone's toes, or like not wanting to invoke any war zone or bad energy. But the thing is this: people force you into it. You like it or not. So, and this has been the challenging part. I'm like, can we just stay love and peace and harmony? But I don't, until you get to love and peace and harmony, there is a war.
You've, interestingly, and I'm not sure you've realized it, that you hit the nail on the head to the degree that you're absolutely correct that when you seek peace, and let's just say we stick to peace, that's what you're seeking. I've been on this journey where realizing that the universal law works in duality.
Yeah.
So whatever we seek will always attract the opposite.
Exactly.
So when we're looking to seek for peace, and you're going, I'm seeking peace, but I keep getting war.
Yeah.
Well, whatever you seek, you'll attract the opposite. So if we're looking for peace, you're going to start to attract war to balance you out. And you're thinking to yourself, I just want the peace, but then the very peace you're seeking is the war. Now that war and peace is coming together to invoke something within yourself to bring you back into equilibrium.
Yeah.
To your higher state, to your higher self. And this is where it's guiding you towards. So this war, this challenge that you're going through is actually a service to you rather than something to resist.
Exactly, but it takes a while until you accept that.
Well, it's all dependent on the person, but we're in a conversation now that let's bring it all up into this place, because what is it that's bringing this war? What is it that's bringing it into your reality right now?
I believe it's this transitional point in humanity. I mean, in the overall field of the collective
consciousness.
Really, the entire collective consciousness. I mean, you can see nature is at war with itself at the moment, yeah? as well. I mean, where it's just you see what's happening all over the world: volcanoes erupting, earthquakes, tsunamis where it's not supposed to be tsunamis, hurricanes, etc. So it's like nature is shedding an old part of itself, and I believe this is what we're doing as well. So there isn't really this transitional point without really engaging the war. Yeah. So this is where I'm like, I've surrendered now, and I'm like, okay, you want to fight? Fucking bring it on. Let's just go for it.
Okay, so you're getting the gloves on. But you know, when you explain that and how you see it, because at the end of the day, what is this that we're experiencing? You know, our reality is a multiple of. I wrote an equation yesterday, right? And I'm working on this book at the moment. And
amazing, me too. I mean, it feels like we're like,
and you know, understanding.
You grew your beard, I grew my beard.
Well, the barber cut a little bit too much. I'm kind of going for this crescent moon shape, and he, but maybe he's doing me a favor.
I was meaning to get to the barber, but too busy.
too busy fighting wars. Come on,
literally too busy.
Let's go. So, but when you're looking at like nature, for example, you're saying, look, there's all this happening, and it's all around us. You know, what I see from my reality and experience is there's tranquility. Because my focus is where it is at the moment, and unless I'm seeking it, I will not find it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So if I'm seeking the peace, then I need to look at the war. If I'm seeking whatever it is I'm seeking, if I'm seeking the good, then I need to track the bad.
Mm-hmm.
So nature and everything that's happening at the moment is just by divine timing, and it's shedding and it's doing tsunamis and it's doing whatever it's needed. It's neither bad nor good. It's just nature being nature, and yes, people who get caught up in it, it's disastrous for those who are in that proximity. Because then again, we go for that morality point of view of, well, death is bad and life is good. Mm-hmm. But again, that's not even true. So everything's moving to its evolution.
Exactly.
And going through that expansion, we've deemed it as whatever our condition and you know, projection will be because of our own perception. Mm. That ultimately is what's going on inside ourselves, because it's not that outside, it's how we perceive it. Mm-hmm. And if you're going through that natural place at the moment where things are expanding, you're going, whoa, it sounds like slow down, because your life seems like it's going at 1 trillion miles an hour, like you're a rocket getting shot out into the...
Literally.
And you're thinking to yourself, hold on, boys, you know, how do we hold on to this thing? And it's ironic because you've built this machine that is kind of like a space machine in a way, that, you know, the light that kind of feeds the cells and it helps rejuvenate certain broken aspects of our cells that can help rejuvenate it. Is it something along those lines, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's doing all of that plus. And I mean, you can use it as the ultimate space travel chamber as well.
I know there's a lot of Martians watching this thinking, I want to just go home. So maybe they might jump into your machine.
Yeah. Oh, amazing.
Look at that beautiful pattern. Our beautiful hot chagar with our special mushrooms in. Well, you know, you've got to do the advertisements because, you know, we're only ourselves here.
Yeah, exactly. No, brilliant.
Tell the people who are watching, how does it taste? No, don't worry, they're not eating the flowers.
Yeah, I'm not eating the flowers? Okay, great. I mean,
I'm sorry about that. No, if you want flowers, we'll get flowers. Flowers? Mm-hmm. Sugar-free.
Sugar-free,
dairy-free, of course, man. We're a sugar-free, gluten-free cafe.
Amazing.
Anyway, so your spaceship.
I feel like I'm starting now. Now I'm about to start.
This is our spaceship.
Yeah, exactly. And now I'm about to start launching. No, we need to start like we need to launch an AOI, a New Earth product together. I mean, I told you about my device right now that I've created for charging up the food and the drinks and. Yeah, I mean, the thing is this, it's like, I mean, nowadays, the fruits and the vegetables and the water is literally deprived of what we really need the most, which is the electrolytes, the energy, This energy is literally, it starts dying out the minute the fruit is picked off the tree. The minute the greens are removed from the earth.
So the nutrients and everything obviously starts to die when it's not planted and living anymore, is what you're saying. Okay.
Exactly. So, and the same thing with our water, Once it's packaged, in 24 hours, it loses its electrolytes.
It's dead water.
Yeah.
This is why we serve This is Kangen water. So we call it
Amazing.
New Earth water. So it's alive. It comes straight out of the machine. It restructures the water, brings it back to life. You can only set it in a bottle for 2 days, but we have it fresh, obviously, every moment. And we have 5D crystals in it as well. It should give you some quite lucid dreams tonight.
Brilliant. No, I mean, I do have it as well. It's the combo.
This is
we
why
do this.
we got the same beard. I mean, this
Exactly,
is it answers
exactly.
all those mysteries. of the universe.
Exactly. We do it, and then we charge it with AOI. They do 2 different things because it's amazing how it sweetens the water. Yeah. And I mean, some people say it's organic Red Bull. Yeah, just put it
Okay.
in there. Yeah, because the thing
Like
is,
a microwave,
yeah, because when you think of it, yeah, it's a healthy
but
microwave.
the opposite.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Instead of killing the nutrients and the food, now we're actually
No radiation.
Yeah, exactly. Now we're reviving the
Lightation.
food. Yeah, lightation. There you go.
I
There
think we
you
just
go.
created
Here it
something
is. That's
here,
amazing.
right
There you
here,
go.
right
There
now.
you go.
I like it.
Lightation, indeed. Well, we'll drink the lightation.
I'll go to the book, I think.
Yeah. So you're writing a book. I'm writing a book. I mean, here we are. You know, what's the name of your book?
Well, the New Earth.
New
For
Earth.
now, the New Earth.
Okay.
So I'm just sort of okay. Of course, the New Earth, New Earth, New Earth. We are New Earth mad.
Exactly.
But what is it? You know, it will tell itself as it's written, and I'm just watching my higher self just, and it's like a symphony at the moment,
Yeah.
you know. And then books I'm attracting at the moment to kind of carry that message, you know. It's rather beautiful, you know. It's just like how the New Earth Cafe was formed. It was sort of effortless. It just seemed to happen.
Yeah.
You know, you just get out the way. Just get out the way, and then things just seem to appear. And if it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Exactly.
It will take its wings and fly.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. The doors that open up, just go with
Yeah,
it, and the doors that close down, just let them fucking close,
100%.
and just move on. Because this is the thing, we end up just wasting so much energy, crying over what we just lost, what we just got close. But there's a reason for it. Just let it
and
go.
it's illusion. Nothing's lost,
Yeah.
right? Because energy can neither be created nor destroyed. I think I say it in every single podcast. I do apologize. It just changes form.
It does.
So the illusion of loss, when it's actually nudging us to go, no, you're moving in the right direction. It wasn't supposed to be that. If I stuck to my things 10 years ago and still holding on and making sure that door didn't close, I wouldn't be who I am today. And
Exactly.
I'm sure you wouldn't have
No.
your lightation device.
No, I would have not had my lightation device. I would have not even been here because I would
That's
be
true.
I would be still stuck in what happened 10 years ago.
So
Yeah, but and this is the other beauty of getting into AOI. you know?
Yeah.
It's like literally, it's like I go in there and I take the ultimate shower. What is the ultimate shower? The ultimate shower is literally being able to clean up from my last interaction. Yeah, because the residue of that last interaction is still in me. Yeah, because in order for us to have this epic moment together, I need to be. The more I mirror you, the more you mirror me. The more alchemy and the more energy and the more harmony and the more love we end up creating together.
Okay.
Yeah? But now as we're doing this, we're merging. Yeah.
okay.
And then after this merge, I would like to keep myself as well afterwards. You know? I don't need to carry you with me all day long.
I think my wife might have some questions, but I think the word is osmosis. Being in the space and being around the person, you pick up the energetic waves and things that you can't see. You know, beyond our eyes. In fact, somebody mentioned in the last podcast that we only really see 4% of actually what's going on in our reality.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
I hear you, man.
Yeah. So in order for me to really truly regain myself by tomorrow or by tonight, I go and do my AOI shower, my AOI session. And
After
then,
this podcast, you're gonna need it.
yeah, most likely. Yeah, because this is what ends up happening. People don't get this. People don't get that by us just being here together, sharing this space together, we're uploading and downloading each other's memories and information.
Code. Well, this is what it's all about. We're here to, we have a genome within us, and it's code. Like everything that's happening, the universal law and the whole point of why we're here is for the evolution that we're actually, from our experience, we put it into the collective consciousness in the genome. It's sort of like gathering information, going, like fingering things like, let's move that on to the next one and next one and next one. And we're gathering information.
Exactly.
We're not just here for ourselves. We're here for like universal law that's sort of at play here. It's incredible when you really
Yeah, and I mean,
Look at
another
it.
observation that proves it is when one athlete breaks the record, yeah, then all of a sudden, within a few months, other athletes are breaking it as well.
You're talking about the Roger Bannister, I think his name was,
Yeah,
when the minute mile, and then
yeah,
suddenly everybody,
yeah,
of course.
yeah. I mean, this is how we influence each other, and that's the reason why I don't get it when people are jealous and envy. I'm like, why are you jealous and envy? Why can't we just be actually very thankful and grateful that another part of us is experiencing it, and then once we're able to do that, this will just mirror to us. But when we sit there and just go, oh, them, and then we never really make room to mirror that love, mirror that abundance back to us and become it as well. So this is the irony in it, where we like literally we are the manifestors of all the mess. It's like you're experiencing abundance because you are willing to mirror the abundance and accept abundance for others.
It's like the genome thing. You look at it in somebody else who's pursuing something, they are you in a different form. And it's like if you don't celebrate it, which I have been guilty of, I've been in my sales jobs in the past and somebody else rings the bell and you're sitting there going, why am I not ringing the bell? It makes you feel like you're lacking something in some way because they're there to remind you that there is greatness, even if it's sitting in a room and you're seeing somebody smash the bell. When you step over your ego and your hurts and your pains and you recognize them, then you recognize an aspect of yourself that has yet to be loved.
Exactly.
And then you love that part of yourself and you go, oh my God, anything is possible, because with love, anything is possible. Everything is possible.
Exactly. And then I was just asked this question. I'm like, what are these disbelievers are missing? Well, they're missing love, They're missing love because if you don't believe, you don't experience love, and you are inhibiting yourself from love.
So how does this machine, you just say this device of yours, help or assist people in their spiritual development to integrate anything that maybe an aspect of themselves that they've yet loved? That how can this machine bring them to that place?
Well,
it's
doing this by enhancing the communication internally, yeah? And how is it enhancing the communication internally? Now, you think of it, we are comprised of around 37 trillion cells, yeah? Male. I guess the female is different and the child is different, but let's say around 37 trillion cells, yeah? Now, think of it as these 37 trillion cells as people inside of you, each one with their own personality, yeah? And it's up to you now to make sure they're all communicating accordingly, and even though one is speaking the language of the heart, the other one is speaking the language of the gut, the other one is speaking the language of your eye, making sure that they're all communicating in a manner where they're all feeling that they're all being loved and nurtured the same way. Yeah. So this is where that lack that we're experiencing externally is a reflection of the lack that we're experiencing internally. Yeah. So now what's happening inside? What's happening when you are, let's say, receiving the AOI session? Yeah. You're getting fed the same light. Yeah, the light that you're made out of, yeah? So like when we first conceived, yeah, when the sperm enters the egg, the first thing that is produced is light. So now, when you think of this connection and this communication, yeah, so now the light photons, what they're doing is this. They're passing through every cell, yeah, and carrying the information, yeah, from your skin to your flesh to your bone and vice versa, yeah? So now, the reason why we really age, yeah, is not because we are designed to age. No, because we accept aging. You know how we accept aging? We accept aging by accepting to hold on to all the sorrows and the traumas and the memories that we've experienced. So the reason why we're aging is because the communication internally is getting disrupted, yeah, by all these memories, yeah. So let's say a certain trauma that happened to you when you were 1 year old, yeah. Sat deep in your mirror of your bone, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other one sat in your liver, and then the other one sat in your skin, yeah. So now all of those are creating blockages, yeah. And those blockages are only Yeah, they are disrupting the communication. So the more memory, the more junk information that we end up storing, in the various layers, because let's say not all the cells are storing the information, so certain cells are storing certain information and other cells are storing other kind of information. So therefore, the difference in the information that the cells end up storing, this ends up creating different pockets of, let's say, religions, of belief systems internally. And then these pockets are not communicating anymore. So what's happening when you're having the AOI experience, you're getting fed the timeless food, which is light, Light is timeless. And now this timeless food, these light photons that are penetrating through these cells, that are carrying the information from one layer to the next, they're going in and literally neutralizing those files of timelines, that are stacked up in your cell, that are occupying the hard drive of your cell. And this is how this is happening.
Okay, so it's interesting you say that, because from what I've learned, and I'm learning and diving deep into what illness is all about, because disease is a feedback mechanism, right? To bring us back into equilibrium. And they say disease is formed because they did this experiment on this mouse, right? And just because I think it relates to what you're saying. And so they had this mouse and they did these experiments, right? And they kind of traumatized this mouse to the point where it was sort of struggling. And it looked sort of etchy, and so it mated with the female mouse, who didn't look like it wanted to go there, but it did. But anyway, the female mouse would then have children with it, and the female mouse would have these little babies, and they would be traumatized, as in they would carry the genome of the traumatized male mouse. Weirdly, though, when they did the experiment and they just extracted the sperm from the male mouse and the female didn't see it, the babies were fine. It's because she saw the male mouse, and wasn't, actually created these mouse that were, runts, because, so by not seeing it, shifted the whole thing. So when you look at it, you go, well, with regards to epigenetics, and the old paradigm that, you have a disease and that's it forever. Well, with regards to epigenetics and the idea that disease is a feedback mechanism to bring us back into equilibrium, back into love, we can then look at disease not as a bad thing, or viruses as a bad thing. In fact, we need them. It's part of our evolution. Like COVID, that is needed to go into our genome for the future. And it's just as many bad things as also good things to balance it out, because it's universal laws at play. So I guess from what you're saying, your machine, as it looks at sort of the coding where there's certain perceptions that people have, maybe they're unconscious of it, that it's creating a certain illness, or a certain genome's being passed on from their mum or father that is unbeknownst to them, but it may be activated later, that your machine can potentially go in and dissolve the perception, or dissolve the story, or whatever you want to call it, from where it came from, to bring it back into alignment, to bring it back into love. Does it sound sort of something like that?
Yeah.
In a choppy kind of way, I presented that?
Yes, indeed. I mean, this what you just shared right now just invoked another story, that I just experienced with one of my clients.
Yeah.
So she's having sexual trauma, but then she doesn't understand exactly where it came from, but it pretty much the fact that she is, let's say, having a hard time attracting the right male partner, attracting the right scenario when it comes to a relationship.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so maybe you had the trauma that held you back. But then as we dug deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, we realized the trauma was coming from something that happened to her grandmother, that she ended up just recalling through going through, after being in AOI for like maybe 15 sessions, So this is the thing with AOI, the more you end up doing it, the further it ends up going into your
deeper into your
deeper
cellular
into,
memory.
Exactly.
So what you're saying, it pulls out a cellular memory of an event that you wouldn't remember, but because of evolution and this idea of genome, that it's carrying on information in order for our progression. Your device goes in deep into that cell and pulls out that memory of, even though it wasn't hers in this particular lifetime, but potentially from her great-grandmother.
Exactly.
So that she can go, oh, there it is. Okay, I can see it. That an event happened. She was traumatized. However, it's not my trauma. I wouldn't have known it, but now I'm aware of it. I can heal it.
Exactly.
Because just by observation, by self-awareness, we can then give it love. But if we don't know where it is and we're affected by it, how can we give it love?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And it's literally, it's like she remembered that her grandmother, I mean, it was really interesting. She wanted to kill her grandmother. She like had so much hate towards her grandmother. And I was like, wow, where is that coming from? But then she realized, as she remembers this, she remembered kind of like what happened to her. And then she realized that she was raped by 6 men. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And the way she remembered everything was really, really, really interesting. I mean, she like remembered her grandmother being in the kitchen cooking for 6 men sitting on the table. And then there was like, and then she was handing her the carrots. I mean, it was like having to really go in there and
Like a whole movie.
Yeah, and decode the messages, yeah, to come to fully understand where the trauma came from, yeah. But it's like, it's not even, let's say, her past life, or, you know, even if you don't believe in past lives, you are inheriting the epigenomes, yeah, and all the traumas that are passed down the generations, yeah.
Not enough that we have to deal with our own, right?
Exactly.
We have to deal with our grandparents. But this is why it's so essential that we learn now with ourselves, with our own moments in the past, that wherever we see trauma or abuse, from what I'm learning, and that seems to be the most empowering perspective, is to look back at those moments and go, okay, how did it serve me? What was it leading me towards? If there's negative, well, there's got to be positives, because you can't have one without the other. And when you start to realize that, and you go back to every single moment wherever you were the villain or the victim, and realize that none exist, it's just a matter of perception, that everything is guiding us towards where we need to go. Because you can't have one without the other. Whatever that one you want to call it, right? If you want to call it good, if you want to, you know, whatever it is, there's the other side. But you know, of course, we're humans. We become emotional, and we get to the story, and we forget actually in that moment, well, where did the support come? When I was challenged, for example, the grandmother with 6 men. Oh my God, people will hear it's terrible, it's terrible. When those who had that moment happen, if they buy into the fact it's terrible because everybody else tells them, that person is still stuck in that moment, in the illusion that it was terrible. Well, does that look like sympathy? Does that look like empathy? Does that look like love, to keep somebody trapped there? Or would the loving thing is to help somebody see the other side, to bring them back into equilibrium and see how the universe, even though in the form it showed up in as 6 men, was actually a loving act to bring you to where you needed to be. But of course, it just seems too horrific to even comprehend that the universe, in its grand way of showing up for every single person on this planet in the same way, that there's duality. In these extreme environments, and when we see war, like, how is that a loving act, you know? And I said it in the last podcast, like, when children are killed in war, and to not see that as a bad thing, people would go, what? But it is. And you think to yourself, you know, of course it's children and something's happened. But if we step back away from it and look at it in the grander picture and say, what is it moving us towards? How is it serving us? And if we stop looking at judgments as bad and good, right and wrong, we can then move to this place of love. Because when we start to pick sides, then we're just feeding that into the collective consciousness that things are wrong, things are bad, you know, that just fuels more of that. Because if you take a stand and say that's wrong, that's bad, that means you're saying I'm right and I'm good. And whenever you take a stand, you'll always have to attract the opposite to balance you out. So the most loving thing we can possibly do is just see it and go, I see both the good, the bad. I see the sport and challenge, and I see it as a loving act because I want to neutralize it, not create the charge because I feel somehow righteous and the other is wrongtious. You see what I mean?
Exactly, because that's the thing. The victim creates a victimizer. Yeah. So when you accept yourself as the victim, then you most likely you're going to be attracting more
Perpetrators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over and over and over. Yeah. And that cycle will never end. Yeah. Because you chose to be the victim. That's it. You will only accept yourself in a situation where you could be the victim again and find someone to point the finger at because you don't want to take responsibility for your own life.
Bingo. Exactly. But that's it. You know what? You know what a schizophrenic is?
Well,
a schizophrenic is somebody who it's the stage of when somebody's not willing to take any responsibility for anything at all, for anything. So they go into a complete split because they're not willing to take responsibility for their life. So they have to, they just go mad. So, and the more we take responsibility for our lives, we go on the other way of the spectrum and we become masters of our destiny rather than victims of our past. And it's just a matter of a shift of perspective, a new way of thinking, some new tools, and going, society says X, but we understand that society and what's plugged into society and the news and the governments or whatever else, the kind of stuff you go on, YouTube or Instagram for a moment, you see that everybody's taking sides to a degree. But that is it's like electricity. And you plug into either side and you get this charge, but you're charged up. And it's as though some other entity is absorbing your energy. So whoever you're following on what side is absorbing your attention, and they're gaining the followers, and they're gaining the money, and they're gaining whatever it is. And whilst you are just charged and giving away this energy, rather than giving it to yourselves and going, what if I actually put it into love and put it into my life and how I could serve and create humanity? Or as I say, how I can use that to create and serve that to humanity. But we're distracted. We can be very distracted because it's so elusive to pick a side. It feels so righteous to make somebody so wrong. It's alluring. And I've been there myself. And it's like, and you get so, you get the kick of feeling that because then you don't have to take responsibility for your life. It's a dopamine hit. It's a drug.
It's dope. It's dope, bro.
Exactly.
It's dopamine.
Dope, bro. That's it. It's just a drug.
It is. It's dopamine.
Yeah. 100%.
That's what gets your two sides going. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's dopamine. That's what it is. It's our addiction to being
Drama.
dope, bro.
Yeah. Well, it's a drug, man. That's why we don't have sugar here because it's just another form of drug, of course, and it all plugs into the same thing.
Yeah.
Because drugs, they just change form.
Yeah.
And now we have a new form. Technology is coming in. It's got its positives, but it's got its negatives.
Yeah.
Unless you know unless you understand yourself and how the universal laws actually operate, you will fall victim of thinking that you can gain pleasure without the pain. And that's when you become addicted because it's the addiction of I can separate the two. And that's the illusion. And the most difficult thing to go through this life is just to bounce around thinking I can get the pleasure without the pain. But when you have a life of purpose, like your machine and it's helping people and it's going in this direction, then you can handle the pains and pleasures of life.
Exactly.
Because you have a purpose that pulls you through. It gives it meaning.
Exactly. I mean, this is the point. The point is this. It's taking this energy, this excessive energy that we're spending up here, on wanting more, the next hit of dopamine, back to the heart, back to the heart where that needs to be the guide, whenever you leave the matter to your brain, we'll always give you two options, we'll always give you two roads, we'll always bring you back to duality because that's what it's designed to do. You cannot blame it, Because, when you give it the power and you you give the power to a narcissist and you wonder why things are going this way. Well, we're doing the same thing, I loved it when there was like this movement in the U.S. Occupy 99%, Occupy 99%. I don't exactly remember how it was put. How 1% is running the 99%.
Okay.
I'm like, hold on a second. Why don't we just take a good look at ourselves? Isn't the 1% running the 99%? Isn't that imaginary thing called the mind running your whole entire body, yeah, and deciding your future. So when you are on a day-to-day stages, you are giving that power to that 1%, then no wonder that the power ends up with the 1%. Yeah.
Well, how does it serve you to say it's the 1% who has all the power when then you get not to take responsibility for your life and your choices? You just say, my life is not working out the way it is because of that 1%
Yeah.
with them. And yes, it's an easier way to go about life. I've been there myself, and I look at conspiracy theories and I've looked down the rabbit hole I've went, and, you can spin out, and whatever you seek, whatever you want to feel right about, you'll always find the answers you're looking for to fulfill the story and to keep you there. But at what cost,
Yeah.
But, I get it. I do get it. I've been there. I've climbed out of that place, and to go, wow, it's quite futile to think that we can break the universal law and think that there's no such thing as duality. But it's just being so mindful of our communication and not to pick a side and just think, okay, there's no side. There's no one to blame. There's no one that shouldn't do this and should do that. Everybody's meant to be doing what they're doing to move towards our evolution. It's divine timing. Everything that's happening, even us out of 8 billion people, 2 men sitting here with hats on, having a podcast, talking about light machines in the New Earth Cafe and writing books. Why is that happening? Because we're attracting one another, the like of the energy, right? That we're having this sort of same conversation, but it's like I'm watching me in a different form here.
Exactly. And this is what more and more we end up doing by being willing to face our demons, being willing to face our angels, because that's what I mean. It's like this is the part of duality that is messing things up, yeah. Because we end up taking the side, okay, or we're taking the side of the demon, or we're taking the side of the angel, or we're taking the side of the human, yeah. But the thing is this: we are made out of these three, yeah. These three are a part of us, yeah. So when you don't address your demon, yeah, and you go all right instead of going all left, yeah, let's say, you're not finding balance. Yeah, balance is to be able to put your demon where it belongs, put your angel where it belongs, and find your balance execution of the two. Yeah, because you're here to to communicate, to be that neutral between the positive and the negative. Yeah. And then we're able to actually produce energy ourselves. And this is what we really need to be thinking in terms. This is the way we need to be thinking in terms for the new age, the new earth, to be to be productive, to be sustainable, to be conscious. Yeah, is how to get back to being the source of energy ourselves. I mean, the thing is this now. With 37 trillion cells, at 0.07, you should be able to shoot out thunder at any given minute, as you decide. But the reason why you're not able to do so is because
Call me
your left toe is not agreeing with your right thumb. But if they are in agreement and they're communicating, and you can unify that charge, then you should by nature have that ability. Yeah, we're not talking superhumans, we're not talking science fiction, we're not talking sci-fi, we're talking reality, we're talking science. Yeah, so this is our inherent right.
Like parting the seas.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, that was possible. That's possible because he believed. Yeah, he believed, and he had his reasons to believe. Yeah. And he had no other choice. And when you give yourself no other choice other than to be great, guess what? You only will, that's the only option that you have. Then you will be great, because you didn't give yourself any other option. Yeah. But once you give yourself an ultimatum, most likely you already lost 50% of the battle. Yeah. It's like gone. Here, 50% of you just got chucked out of the battle. And what's left is literally that 1% again, yeah. But that's what makes that 1% win, is the fact that we are lost in this game of duality, yeah. This is kind of like when we go back to the movie of The Matrix, you know, where it's like it really ends up being a documentary more than a movie, because we are batteries, yeah. And now when I get you to think all negative, yeah, and I know how to manipulate energy, yeah, and I get the other one to think all positive, then I'm the one that's getting fed, yeah, because I'm taking your energy and I'm taking their energy and I'm bringing it to neutral. Do you see what I mean? Then, and this is how the magicians and the witches are controlling the world at the moment. By manipulating our emotions, manipulating our thoughts, yeah? And the fact that we are so lazy, so victimized, so dumbed down, so willing to accept failure, yeah, as an option, we let this happen.
What happened?
We let the game control us. You know, we believe in the game. We sit there and we really believe that this team won over the other team. You know, we take sides.
So the illusion of loss and gain, the
Yeah.
illusion of right and wrong, the illusion of less and more, the illusion that there's them and us.
Exactly.
Because it's everything that we're pointing around, everything that we're doing, it is ourselves.
Yeah.
We are that we see. Whatever the 1% that we see and think that they're controlling us, we are that 1%.
Exactly. We are them.
We are them.
They're
and they
they're
are,
us. We are them.
and they are us. And it's true. When you look at the battery, you know, it has the positive, it has the negative. You know, that is what we are. We are the positive. We are the negative. We are whatever we declare we are. I am. That alone. The I am my reality. I am the projection. I am the perception.
Mm-hmm.
I am all of these things. And until we own it, until we do, we will not take responsibility for it. And, you know, we can sit on and do YouTube videos and, you know, point out what people are doing wrong and they shouldn't do this. But then until we own it within ourselves, then we'll never make the impact. We'll never really make the change that's needed. We never really see truly our greatness, like you were saying.
Exactly.
It's, you know, how can we until we own every trait, every aspect of everything outside of ourselves that we deem as evil, wrong, that we shame, that we judge, until we recognize it in ourselves and go, oh, that's me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait a minute. If I love that part of me, that means I love them. And if I love, and love conquers all, and love heals all, and love is the answer, is what it's said biblically for years. It's in all the texts. And love can move mountains. In fact, when you're ready, the mountain will come to you. You know, the reason it's said is because the journey, the 18 inches from here, from the head to the heart, is the most treacherous and scariest journey you'll ever face. It's not having to climb up Mount Everest.
That's easier.
That from here to get through all of your own misconceptions and the conditionings and, you know, your bullies that you grew up with, your, you know, whatever it is that the stories that you've had to tell yourself, to then go back to that moment again and that how you've spoken to yourself as well. And, you know, really there's no victims, because really how we talk to ourselves, that's the biggest villain. So how can anyone be a victim, right? Because of how we speak to ourselves. So when you confront that bully, that villain that's inside us, and you not only stand up to it, but you're willing to love it and appreciate it, and then how are we ever going to really form the new earth and birth this into the world and come together unless we own it all? And I mean every act that we could see as despicable. How do we own it within ourselves? As much as that means breaking down the old paradigms, because that is what is needed in order to embrace transformation that is coming. And for those who are willing to go on that path and, you know, be the way, they're going to go through this transition a lot more seamlessly than those who want to hold on to a perception. Because if they hold on to that perception, like of the old earth and the new earth is forming, they're going to be torn apart because they're holding on to an idea. And with that extreme perception, this is how disease is created, like cancers and things like that, because of extreme perception. That's why an illness comes in, to bring us back into equilibrium. And until you face that and actually own it and go, right, I need to let go of how I used to perceive the world. Otherwise, it's going to pull me apart.
Exactly.
And people will ascend. You know,
Yeah.
there are people who will not make it.
I believe
because they're
most
willing
people
to
are
hold
going to
on.
descend. I believe most people are going to get extremely sick, are going to die out of their own misery. Yeah. Whether it's going to be called massacre or a natural disaster or whatever it's going to be called at the end, yeah, or a pandemic. But they attracted it because
For the
they,
universal duality.
Yeah.
Because it's just a matter of the law
yeah,
happening.
Yeah, they attracted it because they decided to not do their homework, not take initiative, not to,
Not to go within.
Exactly.
A man who doesn't go within goes without.
Exactly that. And I mean, this is the sad part for me. This is like the war, I've been like in this war of like wanting to bring people out of this suicidal mode, and they don't get it. I'm like, you're just committing suicide. You're just pointing the finger of everything wrong outside, yeah? Not wanting to take charge of your own demon, of your own demonizers, of your own negativity, of your own weakness, and come to your strength, yeah?
I can see that there's something within yourself here. It's quite a passion for you. And it's like more of emotions. I can see emotions coming. What is your need to save them?
Because again, I don't see myself as just me. I see myself as everyone. Yeah.
So you see yourself as somebody who needs saving?
Maybe. I do need saving from who I'm trying to save.
Who you? So
I literally need saving
because what
from
you're
who I'm trying to
seeing
save.
in them is an aspect of yourself because you're saving yourself.
Yeah.
So what are you saving yourself from?
Yeah, I'm from getting dumbed down into the delusion of this game that is playing out in the collective at the moment. Yeah, because this is the thing. Right now, it's like I've removed myself from my heaven on earth to come back and engage in hell. For me, it's like being in Dubai, being in the being in cities, interacting with humanity in general. Is literally interacting with hell. Yeah, because I'm interacting with past due karmic cycles. I'm interacting with dumbed down perspectives, dumbed down reality, living, everything. Yeah, because I've experienced true love.
Yeah.
I've experienced what is it to be a superhero in every moment. Yeah, and shine the light beyond the limitations of people being so jealous and so envy of the fact that you're shining brighter than them, yeah?
Well,
Which breaks my heart because I'm like, I'm not shining this fucking light for you to be envy of me or for you to see yourself less than me. No, for you to go ahead and mirror it, yeah? Let's shine together.
You know what? Okay, so what I'm hearing here is that you're the superhero. You want to be the superhero, but then if you're the superhero, you're the villain.
Yeah.
And the reason you're attracting, it seems like the people who are envious is to bring you into equilibrium because you might feel proud. So they're coming in to knock you into balance. Because if you're going out there and if they're giving you this feedback, it's to bring you back to yourself because there is nothing that's out of play.
No, they're bringing me back to their self.
Yeah, but they're bringing, because think about it, they're coming into your life because you've attracted them, because it's your reality. And the universe doesn't just have randomness coming about, as you know. So if they're coming in, they're saying certain things and it's hell, it's because there's a certain aspect of yourself that you may see yourself as heaven. So rather than, like you said before, the devil, well, maybe that part of themselves, the hell, is what you need to own within yourself. Then you won't need to keep attracting it. And I think that's the part you're trying to say within yourself and you're looking out there. That's why you keep attracting these people, because really it's an aspect of yourself that you have yet to love. And, you're a beautiful human being. You're looking to make this, you're going out there and you're manifesting this awesomeness. But it's like you're declaring to the world, like, I have to step into hell because I am the superhero. But if you're the superhero and you are the angel and you are this, then of course you have to attract the opposite to balance you out. Rather than saying, I'm going to come from love, but what does self-love look like? If I'm to love myself and I step into this, does that mean I need the hell? Because maybe that can all dissolve because I just don't need it anymore because I'm not in the world of duality anymore. So then the illusion just fades away. because it's just the universe going, Johny Dar, you need this, man. Here you go. This person, this person, this person. And if you just, until you see it and you say, that's me, then you won't, then you don't, until then, you just need to keep getting the lessons until you realize it's you.
Yeah, exactly. But this is the thing. It's kind of like, this is where I keep asking but there is an option. There is a decision to be made. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Where it's kind of like, for me, it's like, I come out to the world feeling guilty for having discovered, let's say, heaven on earth and not sharing it with the rest of the world. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I come out and share it. Yeah. But then you realize that you're just degraded, or you're just dirtied the pure waters. Yeah. By bringing all these dirty people onto your pure waters. Yeah?
Okay, hold on. Let me just catch you there, because you're saying dirty people.
Yeah.
Define what dirty is, because this is a potential judgment of what your perception of dirty is. What is dirty?
Well, dirty is when basically you have become this trash bin, of all your experiences, and of all your traumas. And you went ahead and you glorified them as your latest, best version of yourself. Yeah? So this is the part where we're just like taking literally the shit and smearing it all over our face and saying, here's the latest, best, prettiest look. I mean, it doesn't smell good, it doesn't look good, and I know that we are able to convince ourselves. Yeah? So that's the thing. It's like, after when you first smell this shit, it doesn't smell so good, yeah? But after 5 minutes, you'll just get used to it, yeah? And you don't smell it anymore. Well, this is one of our main issues, that we end up adapting, yeah? We end up adapting to negativity. We end up, because the thing is this, what I've realized is that humans are social beings, like they're seeking to be socially correct, not necessarily seeking the truth. So if you're in an environment where looking plastic, and looking like, starting to look like fish. I mean, like everyone's starting to, like walking down the street here in Dubai, I mean, basically I'm like, a bunch of ugly people. Why a bunch of ugly people? Because they all look the same, They all look like they're produced from the same plastic detergent, lips that don't fit with the rest of the proportion of their face, noses that don't even exist anymore. Nothing is real, So how could that's what I mean by dirty. That's dirty for me.
So dirty is basically those who have this pain and hurt and maybe a distorted reality about themselves, their sort of inner beauty. And they look around and they compare themselves to others, because it comes down to comparing themselves, right? What is beauty? And then they keep looking at others, and what they see in others is beauty, but they don't see it potentially in themselves. So they need to change their face to feel like they need to fit in. So then what you make, and obviously you see that and go, okay, what I see is somebody who's ugly, but really what is the essence of what you see in that person? Because is it, what it probably it seems like you may not like is the fact that you can't save them, because they've now changing their face. And it's like, and you mentioned before that suicide, and it's the ugliness that their essence, their soul, who their true beauty is being masked.
Yeah.
And you maybe not able to deal with the inauthenticity.
Yeah, it's
that
fake,
you
fake,
see.
fake. I mean, can you please tell me, can you please share your true feeling? Don't sit there and like pretend to be fucking happy. I can see your smile is not real, Well, when nothing is real in your face, how could I believe anything that you're saying to be real anymore, Because you cannot even accept your own truth. Yeah, you cannot even look at yourself in the mirror and say, "I'm pretty as I am." Like I'm shining from within. Yeah, I don't need all this glitter.
What my thing is because for you, it really, I can see it. It's something that bothers you.
Yeah, because I feel like people are literally killing themselves.
So this is the suicide. This is the killing self part again, because what you're seeing in them is a part of yourself that yet to love. So what you're seeing in them is you. Because when I hear they and them, it's basically me, I.
Yeah.
So it's
like I would never do that.
Yeah, but the thing is, where have you? Because whatever we're seeing on the outside, we have to understand that I am the same as that person, but I just do it in a different form. So where could you say that you are fake?
Yeah, I mean,
Where-
I'm fake.
'cause
I'm fake.
I
yeah,
can
I'm-
also
yeah,
say
yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah, of course.
So it's
when I'm
not just
dealing,
you,
when
everybody.
I'm dealing,
We're one.
Yeah, when I'm dealing with fake, I'm fake.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's it. That is
Yeah.
what it is. The fact when you meet somebody who's fake, you are not able to be real.
No.
So then they see a fake person.
Yeah.
They see you as fake.
Yeah, of course.
And that's what makes you go mad, because you're going, why am I not being able to be authentic? It's because of them. They're fake. When really you're going, damn, I'm being fake.
Yeah.
And they're just nudging me to be more authentic.
But this is exactly what it is. I'm like, no, I'm pointing the finger at myself and I'm saying I'm being fake because I'm not really I'm not able to actually express who I am with these people, because I feel like if I do so,
on.
then I'm judged to be better than them or worse than them. You know?
Okay, so you're fearful of what they may think. You're fearful of what you think they think of you.
No, you see, okay. I'm not fearful. You see, I'm doing my best to blend
My
in.
man, I get it. I see you.
Yeah.
You are me,
Yeah,
all right?
I'm doing my best to blend in so I can deliver the message. How can I deliver the message? Yeah, when I'm not able to blend in and mirror you. Yeah, but if I'm looking at you and everything I see is fake titties, fake.
Yeah.
I mean, even the guys now. You know, I'm like, okay, hold on a second. So I'm like just dealing with fakeness. Yeah,
So-
where it's like where people have. And they paid so much for this fakeness. That's the issue.
Okay, so it's the facade, right?
Yeah.
Because we all have a mask. We all have the facade. We all have a persona. And really we're going now into the evolution, onto the new earth, that it's becoming the death of the persona.
Yeah.
And you have to understand and appreciate that people hang on to that as if it's them.
Yeah.
It's themselves. And those who are manifesting on their face are so attached to it that the idea of being confronted by it scares you. Because if you show them who they are, I think an aspect of yourself may be so fearful of you letting them see who they truly are. And that can be quite, because you're touching on to the point of suicide. It's like you sense that they're suicidal, that they're hanging onto the persona and they're not willing to let it go. That to confront it is be heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Because then they see the truth. And some people, the truth of what you want to share is too overwhelming and they just won't be able to handle it. And that is what you're so you feel like, it seems like you're denying your own power and your own authenticity. But it's funny how you attract these people in order for you to suppress your own power.
Exactly. This is the part. This is where I'm like
So
re-questioning.
why are you attracting these people to suppress your power?
Exactly. I mean, because these are the people that are occupying the space over here. So if
Hold
I'm
on.
choosing to be here, if I'm choosing to be, let's say, in the major cities
Yeah.
and bring this consciousness to there.
Why
yeah?
are you choosing there then? And why are you getting upset about the fact you've chosen that place?
Well, because the thing is this now, you have to, for me, I don't believe in climbing the hill. I believe in climbing the highest mountain.
I love it, man. You're going for the biggest challenges.
Yeah,
I love it.
exactly.
So you're thinking, oh, well, rather than going to the spiritual community in Ibiza, let me come straight into the heart of where hell is, where basically hell is, it seems like personified as those who are desperately clinging on to the remnants of their old selves, their persona, their personality, the bling bling, the idea of what it is to be successful, when it's absolutely opposite, because it's the surface. But it's what they value and it's how they live their life. And for you, it seems like it's a cry of saying, you're so inauthentic, why can't you be real?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a part of yourself. I feel like that's what you're looking to save within them, because I think you came from that place, to a degree, and you see yourself in them, and that's why it's hell.
Yes, I did come from a superficial background as well. I was in fashion for so long. I mean, I only dealt with the vanity for so long. Yeah, and then I found a way out, and then I definitely worked on myself and I worked on elevating from that state of being. Yeah, so that's the reason why I find myself drawn to come back to the hell that I've expelled myself from and say, look, we don't need to be committing suicide on a collective stage altogether. Let's get back to the heart. Let's love ourselves, for who we really are, We
Yeah.
don't need to buy, the love of others with our big lips and our fake Gucci's and
All of the materialistic
because again,
perceived surface stuff.
because again, it's kind of like when you put all your focus into that 1%, and you're missing out on the 99% that is energy, because this is what the atom is comprised of, 99% energy, which means that's what we are as well, So basically, we are dumbing ourselves down. We're dumbing our potential. We're dumbing life. And the problem is with, let's say, what this kind of society is doing, these kind of cities, these kind of setups, they're sucking up 99% of the energy of the world. Because now we turned energy into money. And if you look at where the money is, the money is in these metropolitan cities. Very
Well, you have the negative of it, and you also have the positive of it, right? And it's depending on where you decide to put yourself. And I think there's a part of you that's probably unable to let go of that world because it's sort of like that shiny object for you. It's like your devil a little bit, because then you get to show up in this sort of way that you can feel self-righteous. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm
also
fully,
the same. Fully.
So when you step in that world, there's a part of you saying, I feel better than you. And you're the one that's something's wrong, and and it can make you go into that place of I'm the superhero and you're X, I'm the angel and you're this, so then you get to enlarge yourself, and then you're met with them who is the devil, who is the villain, who is because they're mirroring you to bring you back into balance. So you're stepping into this environment, and I think it's probably a representation of your parents to a degree. The world that we all seem to, project, obviously, the unhealed aspects of the parents that we may have resentment towards or whatever it is, that just needs love. Because it all comes down to that. So here you are in a situation where you have these people. What is it you may feel, what's the hardest thing, the most difficult thing to hear from them if you came out and just basically confronted yourself with them as a witness? What is it that you're most afraid of?
It's not being afraid, per se. It's really being more political about the situation. Not wanting to lose the battle. Not wanting to lose the engagement.
What does that mean?
Not wanting to. Okay, so basically for me, it's like, okay, let's say AOI, Art of Implosion. This technology I've been working on now for more than 20 years. From the time, I shared it back in Canada, a while ago. And then because of the way people ended up responding to it, I decided that, maybe this is not for the collective. This is for the chosen ones that are actually able to be brave enough, to face their darkest corners, face their shadows, as well as they are willing to face their light. Because some people ask me, what is the side effect of AOI? The side effect is you might expand, and you will expand beyond your limited environment. And when you expand beyond your limited environment, you might lose lots of the people that are around you, because they are attached to that limitation, and they're only attached to you being a part of that limitation. So once you expand beyond that limitation, there is no more connection. There is no more reason, for you to be that a part of that sorrow, part of that delusion that they're living.
So what is your yearning then to go into that space and see that person with the big lips or whatever? What is your yearning to get that particular person? Why that particular person?
I want to tell them that, look, you can have your beauty. You can achieve grander beauty than what you've realized. With your plastic surgery and because this didn't really give you the beauty that you're looking for. Because at the end of the day, the beauty that you're looking for is satisfaction. Is self-love. because because I've met the most beautiful people, yeah, in the world, and they don't look so pretty. Yeah, you don't have to look so pretty to be beautiful. Yeah, because it's all about, it's like wanting to be around people. Yeah,
But why, again, why them? Because, you know, it's like going to places and saying that I can save you when they're not asking to be saved. You're only
they are asking.
so they're asking to be saved, yet you feel you can't be authentic because that's you're in the space, you're saying they are asking for help, and there you are with them, and you feel like, why can't I just speak the truth? I'm being fake. But if they're asking for help, why can't you be authentic?
Because most
people
cannot handle the truth.
But they're asking, if they're coming to you and saying,
yeah, I do. When I do, they start crying and they
Okay.
run away.
well, then let
But
them
they
run
do
away.
come back. But they do come back 6 months later, 6 years
Okay.
later. They do come back.
Okay.
But this is the thing. It ends up being a number game. So I just need to sit there and break lots of people's hearts. Not hearts, minds. As a matter of fact, you know.
You
Until
to
they come
break
around.
their fantasy.
Yeah. Because I
And-
mean,
And so,
before I enlighten you and activate you, I need to break down your limitation.
well, it's really them to activate it themselves, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know,
You
we
just
can
basically were. I mean, you know, the thing is this: you are providing them with the organic food, and it's not just about them eating the food. It's about actually them being able to digest that food in this manner as well. Yeah. So it is, but you are delivering, you're choosing to deliver the organic food, yeah? So this is kind of like what...
absolutely. But I
so
see it,
you are delivering that high status of like, eating.
it's like our AOI machine. You step in here and there is a sense of transformation that one feels. And I would say, you know, we create it like the higher self and whatever comes through us.
Yeah.
It comes through us, but it's not mine. I don't own it because really it's all of ours.
Exactly. And this is there's another reason why I came out with AOI.
Yeah.
Because I felt like this is too much for one person to own. Yeah. This is these codes, this DNA binary code is for humanity to own. So that's the reason why I'm frustrated, because I'm looking to cultivate the right community that I can trust with this knowledge, with this information, with this gift. Because for me, this is a gift, yeah? This is a gift that has transformed my life, yeah? And it continues to transform my life, yeah? And bring me to access my true potential, yeah? Beyond all these limitations. And what I've been wanting to convey to everyone, I'm like, look, I'm really not looking to be the one, yeah? I'm not looking to own this. I'm not looking to...
You're not Neo.
Yeah, I'm looking to make bring this Neo to everyone else. Everyone else can be Neo together, yeah? Because this is where we are unbeatable. This is where we can transform life. This is where we can bring on the new earth, is when I become you and you become me for real, yeah? And I'm worried about your sense of being and your well-being as I am worried about mine.
It's beautiful because I think you're like me in this regard. It's being misunderstood, and it's the idea of coming across going, how do I share the fact that this is about connection, this is about unity, this is about love, but it's said in a way that people will be, they're going to be skeptical. They're going to have their judgments because all they've known is people coming in to take. And they're seeing themselves in you. And I think it seems like it drives you a little bit crazy and you're frustrated because they're projecting themselves onto you and you're like, hey, that's not me. And I get it. And this platform is for you to share and say, look, I'm creating a machine so that it can help to bring you back into equilibrium by healing aspects of yourself, to bring you out of your amygdala, to bring you to your higher self. And when you start to see your creative genius and you step out of the game of duality and you step into the new earth, now you can co-create with me, is what it seems like you're saying. Let's go create that new earth. Let's do it. The only way to get this is for you to get out the illusion, come back to yourself and go, hello, here you are. No need to do anything to your face. No need to do anything here and there, because your inner beauty will illuminate beyond anything you'd ever imagine. And we are stepping into that. And I get it's quite frustrating because you're like looking to to convey that message in a way and saying, this machine does it. I don't know how I created this machine. I'm an artist and somehow technology's come together and boom, we have this device. Step in it and, trust the process and trust the way, because ultimately that person that you're speaking to, who is you, they are the way. And it seems like this machine is activating and regenerating something within themselves so that they become the way to their higher selves.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And this is the whole entire point. I mean, this is kind of like what I've been like telling everyone. I'm like, I've been literally I've been avoiding interacting with humanity for the past 6-7 years. Literally, I have not shown up to any of my exhibitions, any of my shows, any of the red carpet events that I'm invited to worldwide, because I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of interacting with fakeness. Yeah, I'm sick and tired of having to sit there and waste my time on bullshit conversation.
But now it seems like we need to move. I'm holding Johnny's hand here. Seek a move away from sick and tired to alive and awakened.
Yeah.
Because it's what you're telling yourself. And I think that's the thing. You're driving yourself around in circles right here about the sick and tired, when really it's about alive and awakeness. That is ultimately what seems like the motto you can walk away from here, to affirm to yourself and watch all those people dissolve the essence of it, who you're trying to communicate to. Because the more you stand there and try to communicate a message and you feel like it's a war and you're not able to be heard, the more you attract the very people who can't hear it.
Yeah, it seems like it.
And so when you kind of go, okay, let me just step out of that matrix, because I'm now I've noticed I'm in a program here, like, the chip is in your head, I can see it. And we remove that chip, because ultimately that is what it is you're attracting. And once that chip's removed, then you don't need to keep attracting these people who are fake. That actually you're going to see their genuinity. Once you recognize beyond the mask they're wearing, and some of them have very interesting masks, once you go beyond the mask and you can see their selves, because then you can really see you, because you're not distracted by the lips and everything else, then you can connect with them, and then they'll see you, because you'll be able to see yourself in them. And it's until that moment will you be able to really connect with them. And it's getting beyond yourself in that moment, that reservation that you have against fakeness, because until you own it in yourself, you're going to keep attracting it. And maybe it is a combination of the parents, maybe it is the industry that you're in, maybe it's all of these different things, a part of the story that you told yourself, and you saw more negatives than there are positives in it, that actually the fakeness is also serving towards the divine plan. And until you love it, you're going to keep on attracting it. And I say it because I love you, brother. You're here. And I wouldn't want you to walk away from here being sick and tired ever again.
Yeah, exactly.
This is you.
I mean, that's the reason why I'm truly questioning what I've been doing. I'm like coming here and I'm like on the verge of actually exiting again and never showing my face again.
Well, how do you feel now?
I mean, I'm still questioning. I mean,
what are you questioning?
Questioning if I should just throw the towel and walk away from humanity.
What does that look like?
One more time. I've done it many times.
But what does that look like?
That means find me if you can.
Yeah, you're just going to disappear into the... Well, look...
I've done this many times.
Because, it's like when people do meditation, you got to be careful not to do meditation to run away, but rather to integrate.
Exactly. So when I first did meditation, I definitely ran away.
You see what I'm saying? And I feel like there's a part of you that is putting yourself in situations for you to run away from, because really it's about confronting yourself in these people. And you keep being a trooper, like you're courageous, that you put yourself in these situations where you don't have to, yet you do, because you are, the light in that regard, facing his own darkness in these people. And you step into this world because you feel you're pulled to do it. It's your dharma, it's your purpose. So whatever you run away from, really you're running away from yourself, and you're just going to be taking that wherever you go. And I think this is just the space for you now to just integrate and say it as, look, whatever it is I'm running away from, if I can just be true and honest with myself and go, that fakeness, that industry, whatever that is, if I'm willing to own it within myself, then there's nothing I need to run away from. Because really, what do you think you're actually running away from?
I'm running away from being distracted from my true purpose.
And what is that?
My true purpose is to come to my full divine potential, to be a multidimensional being in the heart. And if I have to lose myself, because I've been doing this, yeah, that's the reason why I choose to disconnect and isolate myself from society. Yeah, I mean, before COVID, I literally had only 4 people on my phone, and they all work for me. So basically, I completely done this many times over, where I just completely disconnected myself from everyone that I know, because I felt like no one is getting it. No one understands what, because whenever I'm like pure love, show the intention of like, really, I'm not doing any of this to build an empire, because, people all constantly misperceive my actions. Yeah. Oh, you're building an empire. You're want all the fame and success and occupy everything. I'm like, no, actually, I'm only occupying it to give it away. Yeah. I'm only expanding to it to allow more to expand. Yeah. Because I've done this before, yeah. I kind of like many times, yeah. But it's like it was always interesting, because I go up to people and I'm like, what is up with what is up with your life? Why aren't you living your dream? Because of money. I'm like, okay, what is the problem now? You cannot pay for this, you cannot pay for that. Hold on a sec. I'm gonna go ahead and sponsor you, and I'm gonna pay for it, yeah. And then they end up joining me, let's say, on my journey, yeah, for 2-3 months later. And then guess these very people, yeah, like you, that you end up overextending yourself to help them realize that they can achieve the dream. Because I don't want to, because this is kind of like, I feel like I've always been privileged, yeah, throughout my life, and I always felt bad for being privileged.
I knew you were going to say that. Why?
Because I always wanted everyone else to be as privileged. Yeah.
Well, hold on. Okay.
So I always gave my car away. I always gave my house away. I always gave my furniture away.
Why was there the badness or guilt of being privileged? Why did you carry that with you?
Because I was always attracted towards poor people and towards people that I always wanted to hang out with. Let's say the poor, and I leave my rich friends.
What? How do you define rich?
Rich, just rich, physical rich. Like monetary richness. I mean, having the nice cars, having the money.
Okay, and do you see? Because it seems like there's a polarity here of richness and poor. There's a duality. So it's looking at the rich and looking at the poor as seeing that the rich, because material worth, it seems like that means that you have more than, say, the poor who have less. But
that's
really,
the way that.
If we look at it and go, well, there's no such thing as less or more. The rich has its positives, but it also has its negatives. So what would you say the negatives are of being rich?
You become disconnected from the world around us.
Okay, what else?
Self-centered, egotistical, needing to maintain your status, instead of looking at the balance and the equilibrium of life. Being selfish.
Okay. And what is the positive of that?
Is using your status, you're using your wealth, using your position of power to empower others, to bring it to the rest. But then the problem is this: the rich don't like it when you're doing this, and the poor don't know how to maintain it. So I'm fucked.
Hold on, because what I'm hearing here is you're split. Because there's this idea that, rich has more positives than there are negatives, and the poor have more negatives than there are positives, which is an illusion. Because ultimately, whatever we seem as rich, it's just those who value and understand money, and those who are poor just value different things. And so whatever you value, if I value money and somebody else doesn't, and that person who doesn't value money has money, and I do value money, and I'm in their proximity, then I'm going to probably absorb their money in some way because I value it more. It's just a matter of value system. There's neither good or bad. And it seems like there's a part of you that just seems like, well, if I have it, then I'm looking at the poor as somehow they have less. And because I'm a self-righteous guy, I should give it away because I'm a nice guy. But then really you're looking at them and seeing that they have something less, but really they don't. But it's the illusion, and you're basically in that game of duality. And there you are trying to balance it out, which is impossible yourself, because you just caught up in the game of projecting onto them that they have less and somehow you have more, which is neither true. Which is like, with that level of awareness, then you can release yourself of that guilt.
Yeah. It's kind of like it's more of like, okay, I have someone in my house, okay, and they say they're looking at my nice, fancy, whatever, toys, and they don't have it, let's say they fancy it, I just go ahead and pick it up and give it to them, But now they come back and they might want now the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing, and I cannot say no, and then I get to a point where I just have to cut them off,
Okay, because that's when this is where you disassociate yourself from reality, because everything you described about rich people is you. That's what I heard when you said about this, the self-centered, everything is you. Because it's me, it's because everybody, right? So,
I mean,
but until we own it, what you're trying to, feels like what you're trying to really give away is...
trying to show them that what I have is nothing.
Yeah, but by you doing that is the very reason why they're hanging out with you. Because you're giving them things, and then you create the very thing that you.
But I'm not giving them the thing to kind of like owe them or make them. I'm just giving it away. Actually,
I know, but that.
I feel like I'm releasing my. So
let's look at it. Let's look at it like this,
from
because
their envy.
But actually, you're creating it.
Maybe.
I'm telling you.
That's the reason why I end up kind of like wanting to just disconnect and go and be in the forest.
Shall we dissolve this now?
Go ahead.
Because if you're looking at them and you're giving away something here, then let's look at the negative. What is the negative of you giving them something like a car or a house or a phone or whatever it is? What is the downfall of you doing that when somebody comes into your life?
Well, they become independent. They think that
they
that's
could
the
become
only way.
Dependent.
Yeah, dependent on me. Yeah.
Now, how does that disservice to you and them?
Yeah, I mean, basically, this is how I feel like I'm the provider, and they feel like they are. Yeah, I mean, of course, this is kind of like where you're like, how do I? How do I balance out life?
Well, this is really my man, because what you're creating is the duality to think that you need to do something, and if it feels like you need to buy love, it's transactional. It sounds like.
But it's not really buying love,
You're giving it. Because they're taking it and you're giving it, but it's a material, rather than actually them seeing you for who you are. But you feel like, well, I've got all of this stuff. That's all they see, and that's why you're hanging around these people who are the face and everything else, because that's all you see. So you see them, and it's driving you insane, because people look at you as the same with all the material stuff around you. That's why you're giving it away, going, it doesn't mean anything to me. But then you realize, I create this like codependent relationship, and then I don't actually have any authentic friends. And then I take it out on the people who have a fake face, because really they're me, and I don't know how to deal with it. So I'm the one who needs saving, but I'm going to look at them as the ones who need saving. And you're going, how do I step out of this game of duality? When you can really just accept and appreciate where you are and go, you know what? I'm going to thank my lucky stars that I have this. And I'm going to utilize it in a way that I feel is beneficial to the world, not because I give it away, because I know that there's a negative side of that as well. What would happen in your life if you just stopped doing that?
I've done it, and I just disappeared from.
No, but you don't. Your choice is, well, if I don't give it away, I have to disappear. So then there's that split, rather than the middle. What's the middle? Because there's run away and there's to give it all, and you're like, I don't know how to do either. How do you come to the middle of that? What does the middle look like? What is the Johny Dar just going, being in this world, around these people, somebody comes in, and I don't give them things. Is that something you can do?
I've been practicing this lately. Lately, I've been practicing this. You know why? Because now with AOI, okay, I was like, here. I'm transforming this energy of giving into now giving light and love, but then it ended up being the same exact thing.
Well, so
it ended up being the same exact. It's like once you stop giving them this, they start hating you, and I'm like, well, hold on a second, you forgot all the love that I poured into you and the energy, but then I'm like, Of course.
Who's they?
People.
But I mean, how many? I mean, there's a lot of people in the world.
Yeah.
So there's more people. There's not. So who is it really? Because it's when you say people, it's
people that basically
who does those people represent?
The takers that actually just here. They just don't know how to do anything other than just take. Yeah, take, and they don't know how to give. Yeah, so basically.
So you're creating this codependent relationship. You're creating dependency where they take because you're upset because you don't know how to say no. And it really comes down to, can you actually truly see how incredible you are without all that stuff? And I think it seems like you are maybe too afraid to go into your power, dude, to actually claim who you truly are, that you're none of the things around you.
Exactly. I'm afraid of going into my power.
Okay,
that's
cool.
what it is.
That's cool, man. That's what I get to. Let's just say what it is.
Because
what are you afraid of people seeing if you show your power? What is it that you're afraid? What is it you're afraid of, really?
Yeah, I mean, taking responsibility for that power.
Okay, what does that look like?
I mean, it looks like lots. Yeah, it looks like taking my stand, and claiming my power, and basically what it looks like not being able to run away.
Exactly.
It looks like I'm stuck in having to maintain my power. That's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maintain your power. So how does that look like?
Yeah, I mean, basically being able to say no. Basically being able to just look at the broken and say, maybe I don't need to help them.
Absolutely.
Maybe I don't need to become broken like them in order for me to lift them up. But this is my issue, I'm too much of a fucking empath this way, where I just need to, because I feel everyone around me, like I'm like not the I'm like I don't need to. You don't need to tell me that you need something for me to feel that you need something, I just like feel your need, and I just go ahead and act from that desire to make sure, or maybe I'm just putting out that fire of me feeling your need and wanting to kind of like, okay, put it out by saying, here's the water, Maybe it's like, maybe it's a selfish act at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, when you're looking at these people who need saving, it's yourself. And you're feeling guilty because you feel like the whole world needs saving and you have so much. Mm-hmm. When really, it's also the opposite. Because you're the one who's looking to run away from the world.
And have nothing.
Because you feel like if I have it, then I have to give it away. And if I have nothing, then no. So it's like damned if I do and damned if I don't. That's the duality you're in. So taking a breath and stepping into your power, which you said yourself, you know what? If I look to save people and I feel like I have to save, then that makes me the superhero. But it also makes me the villain. Because it gets to a point where the universe, there's only so much support you can give. And when you can see it like this, actually, when you challenge somebody by saying no, that's when they grow. When you support them too much, something called entropy takes over. And that's when they actually degrade. So now if you want to shift your mindset a little bit and go, if I help you, save you, and give you this, I'm actually doing the reverse effect, mate. Mm. I'm actually, within your cellular genome level, let's say, I'm actually doing you a disservice. Mm-hmm. By me saying no to you, will challenge you, and that's how you activate your superpower, and that's how you activate yours simultaneously. So if you want to break that duality, put your boundaries down, because it sounds like you're boundless and you don't know how to stop yourself, because maybe growing up you didn't have boundaries, you didn't know what that was because you felt like you had so much. So who are you to have boundaries? Because you felt guilty if you did. And so people just kept me on taking and taking and taking. All these people are just trying to wake you up to go get back into your power and stop me from taking, because it's actually causing me a disservice. It's making me dependent. And you're going, my God, I want to get out of this as well. So everybody's working in harmony in order to wake each other up. And so this is a moment where you can just walk away from this podcast and go, I'm done. My God, I can see that it's actually a positive to say no. It's actually going to help them on their development to step into their superpower. Isn't that liberating, rather than you having to run again because you're seen as a generous, giving human being, but then you're not owning the other part of yourself, so then you're not being real, you're being inauthentic, and that's what drives you insane when you see other people who are not being real, because you're not owning that aspect of yourself. That's why you're split. That's why you created this machine in the first place, because it's a culmination of all of that. You're like, here's the machine, step in that bloody machine, don't take from me anymore, because I don't know how to say no.
Exactly.
But once you-
Exactly.
but then once
people
you-
say that you created yourself. You created
Yeah,
another
but-
version of yourself.
but
So I'm
so-
like, here, you can have me infinitely.
Yeah, but when you own that within yourself, that machine will also change shape, in the sense that it is you. So when you own that self, you can say no, and you can put the boundaries down, because you can see that actually it's a disservice by just saying yes, take this, take this, take this. And you actually want to help humanity, it sounds like. You actually want to assist in their evolution, let's say, because who are we to say we can help anybody? We're assisting, and the only way we can get there is by looking at it with a different perspective, by looking at all the missing information and bringing it all together to see that wholeness and go, oh, there's nothing I need to do. There's no one I need to save. I'm just keeping in mind what's mine, let's say. And I'm going out there and my higher self is showing up, and I'm going to build the machines. I'm going to talk to myself. I'm going to write my books. And that's how I'm going to, that's how I'm going to give myself to humanity. The things that I have, material things, are not what bring happiness. Because, hey, I've run away from it all and I come back to it and I've given it away. And those people who did get it have become dependent and unhappy. So it's not about materialistic things. And that's your message. Your power is to step into that and say that. Step into it and go, there's nothing I need to do. There's nothing I need to give. I can just have my stuff. And whoever comes into my life, I can now address them with love, because I'm not in that conflict anymore going, but I feel like I have to, because if I don't, I feel guilty in some way because I'm rich and they're poor and they have less and I have more. Well, no, that's not true. It's just an illusion. And once you break yourself out of that illusion, there's no more guilt. And then you're just free. You go, oh my goodness, I'm out of that game now. Now you can just be Johnny. You can just be Johnny. You can be you, man. Your higher self, and show up as you are, not needing the richness to be somehow your mask, to think that you need to compensate for anything, because that's what it drives you insane, that you feel like you need to compensate because of your richness, and it's not true. There's nothing you need to compensate for. You are worthy of love, just like everybody else is. And you just claim what it is. You're destined to have what it is you have. You don't make it mean anything. That's why you can give it away, because you're not attached to it. But those who are attached to it and you give it to them, it corrodes them, because they become attached and they become dependent. So for you, it seems like a gift, because you don't make it mean anything. That's why you're holding it, because you don't need it. And that's why you hold on to it. And you just say, I'm keeping mine what's mine, and I'm going out there and helping liberate other people not to be attached to these things and actually embrace who they truly are. And then they'll get all those things as a byproduct of them stepping into their higher selves anyway. And that's my gift here. And that's what I need to step up in my power. And that's why I'm going to say no, lovingly. And because I can explain it to him, going, it would be a disservice to you, man. Mm-hmm. This is the most loving act I can do. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, fully. Yeah, fully. And I fully accept everything that you're saying, because it is the truth. I mean, this is what has been my issue all along. It's like I'm always taking it off and not wanting to. Yeah. Its power is not an easy thing to hold on to.
So how do you feel now, though, man? Do you feel like running away, or do you feel like embracing your power?
I feel. Yeah, I mean, the thing is this. It's like I say. It's like it's a long-term.
It's a decision, man.
It's a long-term. It's not a new. It's not a new trauma that I've been dealing with. Yeah. I mean, I've dealt with this since I was a child, because I always kind of like played myself down in order for others to shine. Yeah. And I've walked away, making room for others to actually take on the position. But then I sit here and I wonder what's wrong with the world. What's wrong with the world is people like me.
Not shining their light?
Yeah.
But I feel you, mate.
Not taking on their power.
Look, you're not alone here. I just stepped into this New Year's, literally, on Christmas Day. I had this kind of like not freak out, but like this power surge came through me. My Scorpion ascending or something like that. And I didn't know what this energy just came out of me. I was like, and my wife was there and all this stuff came up. It's going to go in the book because it's quite surreal. And it showed up, and you know what? 7 days onto the first, this energy was reshifting my cells and everything else. And I stepped into my power, and suddenly the podcast, and suddenly this, and suddenly that, because I was willing to put down the boundaries and go, I'm going to do what it is in my highest values. And I'm going to step into that unapologetically. And I'm not going to diminish myself. I'm not going to stay into trauma. Because if there's trauma, okay, I'm missing information. So what's the positive of what happened? And I need to step out of that, because if I don't, then I'm going to keep attracting the people around me to keep me where I am. And also to keep nudging me in the direction I need to go. How about I just stop that game of duality and step out of it? And it's a matter of choice. You telling yourself a story of a trauma that happened because you're missing information, because you're not seeing the other side of it. That's it. Why don't you just free yourself off that and go, it served me to get to where I am right now, where I can shift this energy and not feel guilty anymore. And not feel that, you can see the downfalls of being rich as just as many other positives of being poor, let's say, whatever that really means, because it's just a judgment and label, right? I mean, it's not even true. What is poor, what is rich, I've met, there's billionaires out there who are desperately poor.
Exactly.
And there's poor people who are desperate, who are insanely rich.
Yeah.
So wealth and all that idea is a matter of perception. So free yourself of that burden of thinking what that is, and just own where you are right now.
Yep.
And then let everyone just be, because you're just being as yourself.
Yep. Yeah. No, you're right. And the thing is this, I've been trying to run away, escape now for years. I mean, this has always been my game, build it to the highest potential, and then deliberately destroy it.
Sabotaging.
Yeah, fully. I'm the one that destroys my creations at the end of the day. I don't let anyone else do it because I'm such a control freak this way.
It's beautiful that you can see it and just go, yeah, that's who I am, because authenticity and honesty is the most healing thing you can possibly do.
Yeah.
So there you are now, Burj Khalifa's so close by, your tall tower, where are you now? How do you feel right now? Is that how you still feel, or do you feel there's something that's clicking here?
I feel like if I really want to save the world, I really need to save myself from this destructive cycle that I'm in as well. Thank you. And I need to, I need to just claim my ground and not feel so bad for being so whatever, having what I have.
Guilty of the abundance.
Yeah, I'm really guilty of the abundance.
So then, how can you help anybody else have the feeling of abundance if you're going to attach guilt to it?
Yeah.
Then you're giving them the guilt to the abundance. When you need to dissolve the guilt and go, I am an abundant being. I'm not going to apologize.
Yeah.
But what I can do is step in and be myself and spread that love of abundance, not in a form of material by giving it away, because that could be a disservice, making people dependent. But it's your higher self, the stuff you share, the light, that's not material. That's your gift. And why not claim that?
Yep.
And you may see the people around you who are, dissipate, and then new people will come to you that will resonate with your fields, and that's okay.
Yeah, it's completely okay. It's I guess.
Let go of the drama, let go of the war, let go of the stories.
Yeah.
Step into the new earth, man.
This
is it, like right now. And you have it, because what you have and what you've built, you've been holding part of yourself back. Imagine now that you claim that power, and now what happens when you step into the world, when you're not about to sabotage it and run back, when you actually go all the way. What does that look like? What does that Johnny look like in the world?
That looks like a new earth.
That looks like a new earth, you know what I'm saying?
It does, because that's the thing. I'm running away from this to go and build a new earth. So if I'm going to continue with this, I'm either going to be killed or I'm going to create a new earth.
What's the new story now then? The future Johnny?
Well, the future Johnny is finally Johnny accepting
that you're an abundant mother trucker.
Yeah. I am an abundant mother trucker. Indeed, man. I am abundant. I'm so abundant that it's scary sometimes, because, and this is where I'm constantly trying to hide how abundant I am.
That's an old story.
Yeah.
Okay, old story. No. You're abundant, and it's not scary. It's abundant, and it's a beautiful manifestation of how big you are. And that may scare people, and it will excite people, because you can't have scary without excited, right? It's all of that. It's a kaleidoscope of colors, and it's just who you are. And you are that magical being that carries all of this. But when you integrate it and bring it all together and bring it home, you are an indestructible force of nature. The very thing like electricity, but you can only get there when you own the parts of yourself that you feel you've disowned.
Yep.
So the new story is...
The new story is, are you ready for Johnny? Because here he comes.
Yeah, baby.
Well, thank you, bro. Really, it's like there's been a very critical point in my life, because I'm definitely at this point right now where I'm like 10 steps out of this and only like one toe into this, basically, at this point, but now you like just brought me back to claiming my grounds again.
Brother, the reason is because I'm doing it with myself, that energetic pull. You recognize yourself in me.
Yeah.
And I can only do it if I'm knowing myself now and here. So thank you, because every time it brings me back to myself as well, even more so. So I couldn't have done it without you. And you couldn't have,
same here.
As you did the work. It's just,
Yeah.
So, man, it's been epic.
Yeah, it has. I was not really expecting this, to be
Well,
honest.
man, alive, So,
But it's the authenticity. It's really important, yeah? Because that's the thing. This is the beauty. That's the reason why I love letting it all go.
yeah.
Yeah? Because at this point, you come to that truth. Yeah? The truth of what really matters
Yeah.
and what doesn't. Yeah?
Yeah.
And for me, I always been seeking the truth. I have not been seeking to be socially accepted, to be honest. That's the reason why I'm willing to just disappoint people by not showing up.
This is what brings you here now, man. This is why you haven't run away. You confronted it, because you're courageous, You that's it. You stuck it out. You were like, fuck. And we all go through that battle, man. We're like not sure how to do it. We want to run and we want to face it. And we just tug of war. And it's those who are brave enough to confront the deepest, darkest aspects of themselves, and they willing to literally hug it and love it, that we can embrace it and set ourselves free, man. So people can find you. I'm going to put all the details in there. You got your book coming up. Now we're going to see the force of power into that book.
And the book is to reoccupy your body.
Okay. So now you're back into your body.
Now you've assisted me in but that's the thing. That's the beauty of life, yeah? Is, again, when I'm able to just be completely me and be open and full heart, yeah, then I'm able to allow you to be a true mirror for myself.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
And you did it, So thank you for being a brother, and thank you for being a true divine reflection. Yeah, because this is what people don't understand. This is the most valuable thing in life, actually. Having people around you that you're able to really truly see yourself through. Yeah, because the mirror is not going to really show you who you are. Yeah, it's the true brotherly and sister reflections that allow you to really see who you are.
Yeah, our true nature reflected back at us.
Yeah, because this is the truest mirror right here. It's not the photo or the mirror itself. Yeah?
That's what you've been seeking, man. You were looking to see yourself.
Yeah,
I ultimately seeking it in all the very places that you felt familiar with. And here we are. Something brand new has just emerged here in the New Earth Cafe, brother. Much love.
Much love. No,
Let's close it up.
I knew you were my brother from the moment we met.
I know. We saw carried on a conversation since 1,000 years ago or something.
Exactly.
It was
so
awesome.
Good to see you
Thank
again,
you, guys. Thank you for watching. This has been immensely incredible. All right.
Indeed.
Ciao.
Thank you. Ciao, ciao.